Hello, everybody. We are back. And no, it's been what has it been? A week? 2 weeks? Something like that?
Yeah, about 2 weeks, I think.
2 weeks, yeah. But we're back. We
Hi,
got
everybody.
Brandon back from Hawaii. So
Yes.
we're all good to go. Michelle actually should be probably joining us in the next week or so. She moved from an apartment to a house, and they've been busy and packing, and I think right now they're still living in cardboard boxes. So
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. So she will be joining us, within the next couple of weeks, I believe. Hey guys, so I just want to let you know, if you're on Facebook, try to remember that we can't always see or respond to your messages. So if you want to pop over to Oracle Intuitions on YouTube, that would be amazing, so that we can make sure that you definitely get into the queue. This is if you do want to ask a question. If you just want to watch the show, by all means, please stay on Facebook. We're happy wherever you are, as long as you're watching us. So, how you doing, Brandon? It's good to see you.
I'm good. Good to see you as well. It's been a very interesting week for me. I wanted to share a story with you. Of course, you know a lot of this, but I wanted to share with our listeners. Us as advisors, we don't ever stop going through our own growth as well. We go through moments where we have to confront certain things. And for me, I was really excited because I finally got to talk to like one of my gurus, and out of hundreds and hundreds of people, I was one of the 3 that was chosen to speak with them. And it was a really beautiful moment because I was kind of struggling with my own personal emotions. And, just because I am an advisor and I help people overcome theirs, It does not mean I don't have my own problems, my own issues. But the mark of a great advisor, and this is what we have spoken about before many times, is an advisor who can take their own advice, who can handle things in the way that they give it out. Yeah. And so it was like, for me, it was a really good affirmation that I'm doing the right things by helping people, because I was able to breeze through this sort of life lesson in like just literally minutes. And, my guru even commented, they're like, whoa, that was really, really fast. Like that was a really fast realization. And I was like, yeah, okay. So I understood the processes. I just had to do it with an application. And sometimes you need that outside voice, either somebody you look up to, somebody you trust, somebody you're guided to, somebody referred to you. Sometimes you need that outside perspective, as if they're serving as another voice of your own, to help that moment of reflection, to help that process. So I have felt honored to be able to speak with them. And it just kind of affirmed that I am in all the right places, and I am a constantly evolving person. And it's just such a beautiful, magnificent thing. And I hope, if anything, if anybody takes away anything from that, is that, don't be hard on yourself. You're in your space. You're in the place you need to be right now. And if you want to go through growth, don't be afraid to meet those fears face to face. That's really what I was doing, is I was meeting a fear, and behind all of the walls that were blocking me from feeling that fear, there was myself right there. It was such a beautiful moment. Absolutely beautiful. So super grateful. I wanted to share that with everybody, because we all go through it,
When you get past the fear and whatever it is that's holding you back. And, it's funny because a lot of, we've talked about surface before.
Yeah.
Where a lot of people don't understand that when they start diving into, the shadow self, a lot of people stay at that surface level. And there's sort of this energy of, they think they've done enough. And then it's funny because that's where the ego starts surfacing again.
Yes.
Right. And it's sort of our indication that we haven't quite done enough. If we're saying, if we're in that energy of, I've done enough, we haven't done enough. Yeah. And so when you're saying, that you recognize the fact that you needed that healing, and you're open to more healing, and you're open to more deep dives, right there is such a brilliant beautiful energy that, you know, has been guiding you for the last few months, especially with, you know, Hawaii, real estate, all of these things that, you know, you've been venturing into. So that's fantastic. But, you know, just for our viewers, you know, it is something to, you know, take an indication of. If you sit there and you go, okay, well, I've done enough. Like I've done a lot of deep dive. Remember that we never stop expanding and learning about ourselves. And so when we get to that place where we're like, well, I've done enough. I've done enough work or whatever. That's ego kind of coming through. And that essentially is sort of our shadow self not wanting us to expand.
Yes. You know, that's such a beautiful point, you know, about the ego versus your true nature. It's because the ego is the limiter, right? But if you were to look at yourself, if any of you did not get a chance, go listen to the show that we just did on Sunday with Chris. What was his last name?
Chris McKinnell.
Where we were talking about, oh my God, there's so many amazing things we talked about. If you guys know the Conjuring movies, or like Annabelle, I think even The Nun, even though that one's totally fabricated, all of these deal with those characters, the Warrens, and that was the Chris is the Warrens' grandson that we spoke with. So take a listen to that. That was just this Sunday that we did that. Amazing show, tons of amazing information. I got to ask so many questions about like what to do with ghosts and entities and inhuman spirits and like all these things, how to protect yourself. I mean, there is some really cool information. But my point here is that we, at some point we had spoken about being, you know, the universe itself. We are the universal expression in a singular kind of focal point. And so if you think about what the universe is and does, the universe, just our universe itself, we look at our galaxy and then the universe, it is constantly expanding. We know our solar system is constantly expanding. The galaxy is constantly expanding. So if we are a singular point of a universal expression, why wouldn't we be constantly expanding too, right?
Absolutely.
The ego is the limiter. But yet, if we are an expression of the universe, of course, we would be constantly growing, learning, expanding, you know, gaining in new information or new experiences, etc. So just being in that constant state, you know that you are the universe itself. Versus, like you said, Kathy, if you're at that point of, I've grown enough, I'm enlightened enough, I'm good enough for this or that, that's the ego talking. That's totally the ego.
It absolutely is the ego talking. And it's interesting because, you know, even with when we talked to Chris, also, I think we also brought up about gifts. And a lot of people do ask us, what are my spiritual gifts? Now, here's the thing is there's really, there's going to be things, even as advisors, where we're all going to be good at, maybe not so great at, maybe, you know, but that doesn't mean that we don't stop trying. I mean, okay, I'm going to put a disclaimer on that. Okay. If somebody realizes that mediumship, let's just say, isn't their forte, then I do believe that they need to be careful before they just start giving off information in regards to loved ones that have passed over. In an all enterprising type of energy, meaning that if you're not sure, you can always ask the person if this resonates with you. Does this make sense? But if they're coming in, it's the advisors that are like, no, I'm always right. I know this is what they did. I know this is what, boom, boom, boom. That's where a problem comes in. And it was interesting because being able to talk to Chris, you know, we did talk about intuitive psychics, mediums that you have to be skeptical of. You have to, we're not going to be 100% all the time. There's going to be energies that maybe we don't see, or maybe that we can't relate to, or maybe whatever it is. Like, I mean, everybody, but the thing is that when people are asking what my gifts are, start with what it is that you know, and continue expanding off of that. There's a few times throughout the year where I have to shut down. And the reason for the shutdown is I mean, I'm very good at blocking energy. So I'm not one of those people that can't go to a shopping mall or whatever it is. Like I don't get that energy. I can walk into a crowd and I'm perfectly fine. Like it doesn't, because I've been shielding myself my whole life, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I want to pick up something, I can open that up. I let, but it's automatic. I don't think about, do I need to shield? Do I not need to shield? It just happens. But the thing is that when we're in a place, I was going somewhere with that and I kind of completely went off track. But when we're in a place of receiving stuff and wanting to know what our gifts are, start with what you know first and build on that. A lot of people will say, I want to be a psychic. I want to be a medium. I want to see haunted houses. And it's like, I've been there. You sometimes, if you're asking for that, be very, very careful about what you're asking for, because there is shit that you do not want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Until you actually
careful.
Experience that. And you have to be in a healthy state of mind. You have to be in a healthy state of body. You have to be able to shield yourself, from these things. And a lot of people, tend to want to, I want to be a psychic. I want to be this. I know I'm intuitive. Start with the intuitive part. Start with what you know and start expanding on that. And say to people, look, you know what? If I'm right, I'm right. Tell me if this is resonating with you, but also tell me if it doesn't resonate with you, because this way you're judging the inside of what is going on. A lot of times when I'm doing readings, when I for my private clients, I'll say to them, I'm going to ask you some questions. I don't want you to expand on the questions. It's either going to be yes or no.
Yeah.
And this is how I'm judging my internal self with that particular person. Mm-hmm. So it's not about me asking questions. I don't want to know the expanded version of the answer. I don't want the details. I need to, because some of the questions might be made up that I'm making up. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I need to judge within myself where my energy is with this particular person. Yeah. And that's how you start to grow, and that's how you start to expand, and that's how you start to, I know what I was saying. I was saying that I shut down a couple of times a year. And I think that a lot of intuitives do this. It's almost like a download. And you'll go through periods, a couple of times a year, like hibernation, I guess is the best way to say it, where I'm as psychic as, this, like an inanimate object. That's it. Like my coffee cup. Like that's not how psychic I am. Because it's not that I'm not. It's because there's downloads that are coming through, and I need to allow those downloads or that expansion coming through, or I need to learn, or I'm going through a new growth phase or whatever it is. And we have to honor that.
Mm-hmm.
We have to honor that. And
space for those moments, because it's ultimately changing you, hopefully for the better, right? It's giving you a different perspective. It's changing your lens a little bit. It's giving you more of that expansion, that expanded focus. So it's important to recognize, your own self and where you are in your own journey. And especially, again, for people who are advisors, they have to make sure they check themselves. They have to make sure, that they're always in the best space possible. But what I always find is that if, for those of you that are, either you get readings or you give readings, I love this nature with this work where it really reflects where you personally are. So say, you're going through a personal problem of your own, or I'm going through a personal problem of my own, right? I'm going through this problem. All of a sudden I get a reading from with somebody comes to read with me, and they're like in a similar situation, very, very similar. It's like, boom, total reflection. Oftentimes that information will correlate to you as well.
Yeah.
And there is this symbiotic relationship that you have with your clients. And those are really, I think those are the most beautiful moments, and why you really need an advisor who can take their own advice. Because if an advisor is sitting here telling you to do all these things and then they haven't even adopted them themselves, it's like, ugh, how can I trust you to even know if this is right if you don't even know what doing this action even looks like? How can I trust you? I think there's a difference between this old way of thinking about psychics and spiritual advisors versus what's happening now and what we're seeing now with these people. I think we had this very clear perception that psychics were there are people who saw things and they told us what they saw because they see and know the future. Well, obviously we've gotten a lot more in depth with that, because it's not all just about the future. We're seeing things, and as a species, we're creating new ways of being. And that's what the psychic's job is ultimately curtailed around. It's this keeping up with where society is moving while knowing the old primitive ways of being, if that makes sense. Meaning, yes, how energy and consciousness is felt, experienced, and how it moves. And that's ultimately how we're looking at things. We're looking at energetic movements. We're looking at how that energy hits us personally, how it moves our consciousness, how it makes our emotions, react and move in different places. And it's not just, fortune telling. That's not what we're doing here. And people like myself, and I know a lot of other people who work on healing, whether it's Reiki, whether it's subconscious or crystal healing or what have you. A lot of these psychics are healers. And so I think it's just such a beautiful time to explore this realm of working with people in this capacity. That's why I still want to create my own psychic network, and one that has a bridge with other health professionals. I won't reveal too much, but I have some good people, good connections, and good people in my pocket where we can make it really a full, like, emotionally healing space. So I'm pretty excited to continue this journey. And Chris, the gentleman we interviewed with Sunday, I loved his path and how he was talking about having these all sorts of courses, classes, a school almost dedicated to all these teachings. I think it's I don't know. It was really refreshing to see that there are other people out there that have heard this calling as well, to help people heal. I thought honestly that he was going to be very, it was my own biased opinion. This guy who, has worked with Hollywood and stuff like that. I thought he was going to be a lot more Hollywood, but man, he's like such a very down to earth, like spiritual sage. That was impressive.
I've known Chris for a while now, and it's been such a pleasure to be called his friend, and we've done a couple of little cases, obviously remote distance and stuff like that, and he's always just such a pleasure to have a conversation with. And and he's like, stop saying it's an honor. I love that. He was like,
yeah, and then he ended up saying it too.
Yeah, I know, right? At the end, he was like, it's such an honor. And I was like, oh, see?
You just can't help it when you see souls recognizing each other.
Right. That's exactly it. Yeah. It makes you realize how blessed you are to have such amazing friends in this world and in this realm, even if you can't be together, as people, right? So, or be together physically in the same room.
Right.
Let's just put it that way. I don't know. So
That's why it's still so valuable to be able to connect at an either intuitive or empathic or psychic ability or level, because it removes a lot of the guesswork, right? You know, if,
yes.
for example, between you and I, you know, if something was wrong or amiss, it was like we would be able to sense it in some way. And so we know that we want to address it. You know, we know that we want to understand it in its entirety. So we're able to communicate and see all in between the lines, right? We're able to see the things that maybe we're not fully saying. And even if you don't have a specific label for that precise feeling, you know, we talk about it. And there are so many times, you know, for example, where maybe you have said, even just between us in conversation, where you have said like something, oh, it just kind of seems like this. And I'm like, I know you're not explaining it right, but I 100% understand exactly what you're saying. It's like, I mean, that happens so many times, you know,
Right?
those moments are cool. And that's just another beneficial moment. I think one of my own little theories here is that love is what generates psychic capacity. So how many times in long-term relationships have you seen people where the spouses finish each other's sentences? They can sense and know when the other person has an emotional shift of some kind, of like, oh, they're in a mood. I can already tell by the way they close the medicine cabinet, like the day has started bad for them. And you're like, oh shit, here we go.
Here we go.
Because, you know, my theory is that it's through love. It is through compassion. It is putting yourself in those other person's shoes. And so for me, when I was at a young age, I just remember having such a clear feeling of loving like everybody, like loving everybody. And I tout that conviction to my own psychic abilities and being able to understand people on deeper levels, because I profess that love and I allow myself to be in their shoes. And now, you know, here we go, helping people all the time through psychic information. And now buying houses. It's going to be so interesting because somebody asked me, you know, I was looking for houses for them. And I asked them a weird question. I was like, yeah, what's your date of birth? I know that sounds weird, but I'm going somewhere with this. And I looked at their chart and I was like, oh, Sun, Moon, Venus right here. I'm like, oh yeah, like I already knew what kind of house they wanted. And I was like able to help them find it. I'm like, dude, that could come in handy. That could come in real
kidding, handy. Right? Like that actually, you never know. You'll be like, can't wait. Let's take you over here. I know exactly what is going to suit you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty cool skill. And just along the lines of, you know, why sharpen yourself and allow psychic ability or intuition, you can use it in whatever you do, you know, whether it's your personal contacts and friends, whether it's your work. A lot of this can be used, you know, in your day-to-day life. It's just it's like a spice, a flavor enhancer, right? It just makes things more colorful, a bigger array of color and spectrum. So I recommend everybody to tune into their abilities. A lot of our listeners do. A lot of our listeners are really great with turning within and, you know, looking at themselves. And a lot of them I feel are psychic as well. It's pretty cool.
So G asked, how's my pet snake? Thank you for asking.
Aww.
I know, that was so sweet. I actually have 3 of them. They're all doing they're all growing and getting bigger. I have so in case whoever's watching, I have a 10-foot boa constrictor. He's a little bit cranky lately, but he's good. You know, he's good. I'm trying to figure out how to change his light bulb in his cage without him deciding that he's going to take a trip around my house. So, his light burnt out a couple weeks ago and I have to fix it, or no, a couple of days ago, and I have to fix it. And I'm trying to figure out, how am I going to get my hand in here without you being a big boopy head? And because he's got such a good temper, but he's still a snake, you know, and if he decides he's going to grab a hold of me, he's going to probably take my arm off. So I'm kind of in that phase of like, maybe I'll just feed you something while I'm changing the light bulb in your cage here. I think that might be a good idea. And I have I have a couple of pythons too. So they're really sweet. They're adorable. I have one that actually makes noise whenever she wants to come out, and this is hilarious. So everybody thinks that, I mean, snakes are reptiles. I mean, here's the thing. They really, truly do not have like emotional capacity. Let's face it. I mean, they're snakes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's funny because when she wants to come out, she will make noise in the cage. So she'll like tap against something, or she's got a log in there and she kind of hits it against something. And then she will wait at the door. And she'll wait at the door. And then if I don't kind of come, then she kind of moves around a little bit again. And then she waits at the door. And so I'm like, okay, I guess you're coming out. And then she comes out and she curls into a ball on my lap and goes to sleep. It's so weird. Or she'll crawl down my shirt or up my sleeve, which is really weird. But, anyway. Oh, Liliana says, I had a female boa constrictor when my kids were little. They named her Daisy. That is so cute. I love boa constrictors. They're so friendly. I like pythons too, but I just like snakes in general. So, but yeah,
cool.
it's funny because she'll crawl on my lap and then she'll all of a sudden start going down my shirt. And I'm like, okay, dude, time to come out. But if I let her sleep there, she will. So we do have some paid, we do have some donation questions here. Just so you guys know, we do take the donations first. And also, please, guys, make sure that you, for the lottery questions, make sure that you put your lottery questions in the, I saw that, Sophia, thank you so much. And I believe that Libby did, I did get everybody down here. I'm just kind of I'm making a list for the donations. And then I think Brandon is working on one for the lottery. Remember, for the lottery is a lottery. So we're going to try to get to the lottery as much as possible. What is going to happen is, do you want to explain the lottery, Brandon? Because you always explain it better than I do.
Yes. So when you are on the lottery, that of course is a free reading, because we do try to give room and priority for that. Not everybody can book full paid readings here. So it just gives you a chance to be able to win a free reading on air. You put in your name, zodiac sign in question, just like everybody else. What I do is I put you on the lottery list. I put a number associated with your name, and you are put on that lottery list. So when we do get to the lottery moment, I use a random number generator with the numbers that we have. And if your number is called, that means that you have won the reading. So we depends on how much time we have left. We run about 2 hours on our show here. Sometimes a little less if we have other things going on, but we always try to give it the most space. And so make sure you are here. Make sure you are present. A lot of times, I think it was the 2 weeks ago show, we had people, maybe it was a few more weeks than that, because I think I was still here. There are a lot of people that won readings, and we just had to keep going down the list because people were disappearing. They weren't here anymore. So make sure you tune in and listen for your name to be called. Otherwise, you might be missing out on a chance to get a reading. So.
Mm-hmm. So what we're going to do is, I think we're going to take a couple of minutes here just to get everybody aligned. And then when we come back, we'll get right into the readings, just to make
real
sure
quick.
we didn't miss anybody, all of that stuff.
Yeah, real quick. I need, let's see. All right. Thank you, Luna. I've got your question here. I need Sophia's question and I need Libby's question. Those are the two that I don't see that have a confirmed donation. If you are also on that lottery list, if you have not donated, you're on that lottery list, you can prioritize that anytime you want. If you're a little bit nervous that we won't get to your question, we still will take the donations in the middle of the show and prioritize your reading. So if you feel like taking a gamble, then that's fine. But our donation list does grow. It has been growing quite a bit. We appreciate all of your guys' support and helping us with trying to refine every aspect of the show because Kathy is grooving. She is putting in time. She's got all these multiple shows and multiple guests and things that she runs. So any bit helps her be able to do that with all the softwares and programs and other people that she has helping. So definitely appreciate y'all's donations. Thank you.
I do have to ask. So I think I've got everybody in here. If you have donated, can you just confirm in the next, like as we take a break here, just confirm. I will tell you who I have, just so that I don't. But okay. Let me just start over. Hang on a second. So as of right now, I have Naomi, Miguel, Luna, Sophia, Libby, Andrea. And there is a Liberty that I just saw, but I don't know who you are. I'm not sure where you're coming in from because I'm trying to look. So if I did miss you, Rachel, okay. Oh, Andrea is Rachel. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it gets confusing sometimes.
Yeah, if there is a Liberty, Libby, I did get you, and I don't know if that's you or not, is the Libby. So if that goes under a different name, just let me know.
Liberty, that seems.
Yeah, that seems
likely.
Okay. I just want to make sure, guys. So give us a couple of minutes here and we will be right back. And yeah. Anything else you want to add? Oh, guys, hey, just so you know, when we are doing the reading, okay. Okay, so we'll put Jenny on there too. When we are doing your readings, guys, just to make sure that you know, we do not do health readings, okay? We don't do legal readings. And we are not security cameras, so we do not go in and spy on people. Right? Just so you know. So, you know, if you're wanting to check on, you know, your ex-boyfriends, girlfriends, whatever, we're that's not what we're here for. We're here to help you as a person. We're not your secret spies. Okay. So all right, so give us a couple of minutes. Jenny, can you also post your question? Because I don't know if we actually have that question from last week. So we may want to, if you may want to put it down below as well. So guys, we will be back in just a minute, okay? Let me get there. Hang on a second. All right, we'll be right back. Hello. We're back. We're back. We're back. Leilani, I just need you to. I was just reading your question. Could you just give us a little bit of information in regards to this question of yours? Just like, are you guys together? How long have you guys known each other? That kind of thing. Just so that I believe that you are. Yeah, just in case when we get to the lottery. Okay, I think this is a lottery question. So that would just be helpful, so for later. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. So the first one we have is Miguel. Let's do Miguel. Hello, Miguel. Are you here? Miguel, I'm going to ask you, what are you hesitant about? Because I feel a lot of hesitancy coming from your energy right now. It just feels like there's, I'm getting feedback. Are you getting feedback?
No. I think I can hear it though on your end. Again, it should probably go away.
Okay. I just feel some hesitancy coming through for you, Miguel. I'm not exactly sure what this is about, but it feels like you're debating about should I or shouldn't I. I feel like there's some sort of worry behind that energy there as well. The first thing I hear is yes. So what that has to do with, I'm not 100% sure here. But I keep hearing yes. Like, yes, do it. Yes, do it. And I'm getting a bit of a, like, it's an interesting energy. I feel a little bit closed off energy, which is kind of unusual for you for the most part, because you're usually quite open with your energy, but it does feel, and it might have to do with this hesitancy that you've been feeling. I feel yes to trust your intuition is what I get. Yes, trust your intuition. It might not be a yes to the question. It's a yes, trust your intuition is what keeps coming through. Like it's as though you're not completely fully trusting something about maybe information or something like that. This feels like external. Okay. It doesn't feel particularly within the family unit or anything like that. It feels like an external energy that's coming through. It almost feels like I don't even know if it has to do with like a human element. It just feels like it may have to do with you wondering if you should do something or go for something or whatever it is. So that is what I keep getting. It also feels like there's an energy that, like I said, coming through where you're questioning something. You're questioning something and it's closed off. It's really closed off energy. I don't know what exactly that is. Do you pick up on anything like that?
It's not per se closed off, but I do feel a very like strong roots, and it definitely reminds me of like an anchor being anchored in right into the earth. But what Spirit is showing me is that this is more concerned around abundance or money kind of coming in right now. They're showing me that it's like sometimes this anchor and this unmovable energy works in your favor. Other times it's really like dragging you behind. And what I keep being shown is to know discernment right now, to exercise discernment and really starting to figure out what parts of your work that you're investing into, when you're giving in time, what parts are forcing you to be open and allow the abundance to flow in, but also what's kind of dragging you behind. You have to know the difference, and really looking into that right now is what I keep being shown. So maybe it is like a stuck energy at times, but again, Spirit keeps showing me it's all surrounding abundance right now, and how to let it keep flowing in your life, how to work with it, but then knowing the right times to be like, nope, stay firm. Let's not do this. Let's not be gregarious and spend too much, and keep yourself firm so you don't end up being a drain or letting your resources drain from you is the biggest thing.
Yeah. there's it's like something coming through here that I want to I'm sorry, Miguel, just give me a second here because it feels like this could be important. It could have to definitely do with work. It just feels like there's an energy here where you're really almost hesitant about doing something, going for something, taking, accepting something. And I keep feeling like your intuition is guiding you towards this, and you really, really, really have to follow that. I feel like there is some pressure coming at you a little bit. I don't feel it's like, home or anything like that. It could be an external force of some sort, like an external energy outside of the home. And what I keep getting here is you have to stay true to you. And I think that's kind of along what Brandon had said there, but it just keeps feeling like stay true to you. This is going to be very, very important moving forward. Okay. So I think that they had said they were going to soccer practice. So we may not be able to get that confirmation from them until some point later, but that's okay. But that's okay. Next is Nami, and Nami was wondering, I believe she had asked if they were moving at the end of the month.
Yeah, so Nami says, as you know, we now own a 10-acre land. We put in an application for the home and got approved. You still see me moving this month. Will the home be ready this year?
Okay, so I want to say yes, the home will be ready this year. You know what's funny is when you asked if are you still moving this month? I kept thinking to myself, well, I don't see that until September. And then I realized, oh, bloody hell, it's September.
We're in September.
So that was the first thing I heard was September. So I do feel that this is still a possibility. I feel maybe closer to the end of the month though, Nami, to be honest. I feel like the home, you know what? I'm going to say either this year or very early next year. Okay. I don't know if there is some sort of a delay within the home being built. It's almost as though it could happen. Okay. And when I say this, I don't mean to sound, well, it could be this or it could be that. No, I don't mean it like that. It just feels like there is a possibility of something, some sort of delay. It doesn't have to do with you and Miguel. It does possibly have to do, there could be a weather issue of some sort. I'm not exactly sure where this is coming from. But I do feel like it could be a delay of a couple of weeks, maybe for land to dry up or something along that line is what I keep getting. So I don't feel it's going to be a long delay. It's not going to be a type of delay that is going to highly inconvenience you or anything like that. But I do feel a delay of maybe possibly a couple of weeks in there. And I feel like telling you not to worry about the delay. Like, I don't feel like it's going to take you too much off a schedule. I just feel something to do with Mother Nature. Okay. like you won't have control over it. It will be a Mother Nature type of element that possibly, like I said, maybe there'll be the ground may be too wet, maybe too cold, maybe too hot. I don't know what it is, but, that's what I keep getting.
It's interesting because I too am shown, I'm specifically shown working with the moon because the home is going to be affected by certain natural cycles. And so to work with it on your own as well, try to maneuver between any of these natural cycles. Of course, anytime they show me the moon, that always is a meaning to notice the phases, notice the times in which you're doing things. And in my even personal advice and opinion, doing things with the cycles of the moon, it really does generate a lot of really good energy, good movement, opportunity. it's like doing something that sits in the back of your subconscious. You know, you like plant a seed and then you just let it grow. So I am definitely being shown to pay attention to natural cycles that are happening here in Amy. I do feel that moving in towards the end of the year, it does feel attainable. Spirit keeps showing me that it's an opportunity unlocked is what they show me as well. And I'll have to confirm here as well with Kathy when I do ask about moving this month, as far as, you know, where you're going for the temporary time till your house is built. It does feel pretty good. I am feeling more towards the end of the month as well, more towards the end of September. And that feels pretty, I keep seeing 3. I feel like it's like 3 weeks or like the 23rd or something like that.
It's funny because I was actually getting around the 20th too. As well. Like I was like, oh, I keep hearing the 20th, somewhere around there. Like it could be a little bit later than that, but that's what I kept hearing. Something. Yeah.
So good luck, y'all, with your move. Hopefully soccer practice is going well.
Yeah.
So Jeanette, yes, you still can donate. You can use the links provided in the scroll or in the info box. Put you up on that list. Kay, thank you. Make sure that you post your question in the chat as well. And then who else? Love T, if we can confirm. Love T here, we can put her on the list.
And also, I believe Kay said that she wanted to donate as well. So thanks, guys.
Also, let's see if, again, anybody that's coming in now or they're not sure if their lottery is going to get asked, yes, you know, you can still put in a donation throughout the duration of the show. Also, let's since Naomi and Miguel, they all know each other, with Jenny, and she donated the last time and didn't get the other question. Let's do Jenny next, if that's okay.
So Jenny's question was moving, I believe, had to do with
moving.
moving.
Jenny, I asked if I'll be moving to South Carolina when taxes come this February and March.
I want to say yes. That's when I asked this of my guides, I hear a yes. I do feel though, Jenny, around the beginning of February, I do feel like there may be a little bit of a concern with you in regards to you moving. Like it all, I want to say, don't get into a panic or anything like that. I feel the actual physical move. Okay. I do feel the physical move coming. But I do feel some sort of going into hesitancy again. Could be the end of January, going into February, where you may, for whatever reason, it almost feels like you're hesitating, or you're maybe write it down, you know, not to panic. and put it somewhere, put it into your phone, on your calendar or something around the end of January, just as a reminder to yourself. Just say, don't panic. Everything's good. Everything's working out. I don't feel that there's anything to do with, it just feels like there's a hesitancy off of your part for some reason in regards to that. Okay. And I don't know if it has to do with a position or a job, or it feels like it has to do with people in some way. It's something to do with, again, it has to do with you, but it's because of something external where you may hesitate. And it might even be just a fear that you're going through in some way. But what I keep getting is to go forward, because I do feel I'm actually being shown that you have luggage. So I do feel that move happening. Okay. I just feel that at some point you may kind of go into this place of, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? am I supposed to go forward? Or again, maybe perhaps somebody externally saying something or doing something or whatever, but it's just the move forward. So that's what I keep getting is, like I said, maybe put it into your calendar as a reminder, one of those pop-ups saying, don't panic, just saying, don't panic, keep moving forward and allow that to happen, because I do feel you're supposed to be going.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I do feel the move coming. When I look at the energy just of South Carolina, absolutely. I do feel that strong. I feel like as well in the beginning of next year, it really is the right time. Now, I want to tell you, Jenny, specifically, what I keep being shown is that it's really important to consider your bonds, okay? Your bonds and your emotional attachments. I think this is what Kathy was picking up on as far as something feeling as if it was holding back. It's really important to know the bonds that unlock you and open you up, and the bonds that restrict or hold you back. I know we've talked about this in the past about you having some kind of energetic attachment with other people, either groups of people, and specifically people that, do hold you back. So that seems to be the most important thing. If you do have bonds already in South Carolina, that's going to be the right thing to start investing into now, connecting with those people, because I do feel when I see you in South Carolina, I do feel you having this sort of feeling of freedom, of kind of opening up again. So know what you're attached to now, where you are, but also realize and recognize that this is going to shift. This is going to change a bit based on your move. It's kind of like a full body, full mind, full spirit move. It's not just a physical shift as well. So just keep that in mind. That's kind of what Spirit keeps showing me to be geared towards is listening to, okay, this energy holds me back, but this one makes me feel like I'm expanding or growing, kind of how we were talking about in the beginning of the show. So really keep that in consideration. That's going to be a very good indicator light for you about where you got to focus and who you should be around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because I do feel that there's a lot of energy coming through, not just with what Brandon and I were talking about, but also, even the last couple of readings that we just did, there's a lot of hesitancy, guys. And I feel like saying, remember that you're being drawn. It's interesting because this year I feel is a moving forward year. It's a letting go of what was holding us back. And it's time now. And I feel like for some of us, we've been so used to being stuck or stagnant that we're kind of scared to take that move and that leap forward now. And trust your instincts. If you're getting called to move forward, please move forward. Follow what you're being called to, what you're being drawn to. And yeah, Jenny, like I feel like when you move, it's going to be so refreshing for you. It feels like a burden being lifted off of your shoulders and a whole new start. And that could be where you're a little scared of moving forward, because it's a brand new start. You're releasing that stagnant and moving forward into something like it's like a whole new doorway. It's a whole new doorway. And I seem to remember, when we first started doing readings for you, I kept in the hallway with doors. I believe that was you. And I kept saying, going through different doors. And I feel like this could be that energy of where you're starting to move forward into these different doors. So it's really interesting because I'm getting shown that again. And I feel like, these steps forward, it's not just one door, it's brand new doors as you're moving forward. It doesn't mean that you're going to keep moving, like moving different places, but meeting new people, having new experiences, truly getting to understand who you are and what Jenny is made out of now. It's like a whole It's like you drop the old baggage and you're moving, you're going forward. So I'm so excited for you to go through this. So thanks to everybody, whoever has joined. We will try to, get to as many lottery as we can after we do the donations. Next is Luna.
Luna. Actually, I have
Huh?
Okay, let's do Luna here. Luna, then I have Andrea, then Sophia, then Libby, then Love T, then Kay.
Hey, Adam. Thanks for coming back. Shanae Davidson. Hi, David. Hi, Shanae. I hope I said your name right.
All right, so Luna, or Eliza, Gemini. The question is, does my dad, Raul, who's a Libra, have any regrets when it comes to me?
Can I, what is your, yeah, Jeanette, we actually got yours. Thank you so much, Jeanette. We do have yours down. Eliza, what is your dad's first name, please? If you're here and if you can,
Oh, Raul.
Raul. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So there is some regret. I'm getting two things, Luna, and you may have to confirm for me a little bit, but I do get a regret, but I also am getting an awful lot of, I'm getting a lot of ego. And when I say ego, it means like not fully admitting to all of the things that he has regrets about. It almost feels as there is an energy here. I feel like you want more. I don't know how to explain that. It feels like you want more. And the energy that I get from him is like he's giving you the regrets, or he has regrets for the things that he knows are prevalent or prominent, I guess is the best way to say it. And there's an energy here of him. There's more. And he's not quite willing to fully admit to those more. Or he's not quite willing to bring them to the surface. And it's funny because it almost feels like the energy that he's given you, or the regrets that he has, whether he's actually spoken them to you or not, are almost the ones that you may have already talked about, or, there's been conversation about, or ones that are, like, again, prevalent to the situation with the both of you. It's like the main ones, but there's little tiny ones. It's almost like a little spider webs, like little things, in there that he's not fully coming through with. And it's almost because, to some degree, these little ones were ones that, how do I explain it? The little ones are ones that he didn't need to have regrets about, if that makes any sense. You know how we have big regrets where we sit there and we go, I wish I had spent more time with my kids. I wish I had done this. I wish I had done that. But there's these little ones that are woven in within his energy. And it's almost like it's those little regrets, like, I know I could have spent more time. And I'm just using this as an example. I don't know if these are the actual, elements, but okay. So he said some awful things to me that he's unwilling to communicate. That's kind of exactly what I mean. It's like, it's that energy of, and again, this is just an example. The energy that I'm getting from it is like, I know I could have spent more time. There's that difference between people saying, oh, I wish I had spent more time with my kids, but then they were actually, they literally were working a lot, or they had to play, they had to, do what they had to do. I guess we're buffering, so hang on a second.
That's good on my end. I see everything fine on YouTube.
Yeah, it
could
seems
just be Cathryn.
Okay. But it just feels like some of these other things he's not, again, willing to admit, or he's not willing to bring to the surface. It's like this is the energy. And again, it's not specific to you, but it's like the energy of, Dad, I really wish you could have come to my ball game. Oh, well, son, I had to work. Meanwhile, Dad is really at the bar having a drink. Do you see what I'm saying? It's that type of energy that's coming through. So he could have stopped himself from saying awful things, but he didn't. That's the energy that I'm getting. And he's unwilling to really come to an admittance of that because of the fact that there is a lot of ego coming through, and he's trying to justify it with an element of being right. Well, I said it because of this, or I said it because of this reason, or, or turning it around onto you in some way, whether he said that out loud or in his mind. But he really truly doesn't also mean that. It's like, but it's an admittance that he can't get through too. I don't know exactly if I'm saying that right, but that's the element that I get.
Yeah, it definitely feels like he's kind of stuck. And the first thing that I'm shown here, Liza, is that he is in confrontation with different aspects of himself. And those aspects of himself are strong characteristic traits of you. It is like you came into this world and you kind of put a spotlight on the parts of himself that he is very uncomfortable with. Mm-hmm. And I think that's exactly why he's coming through ego a lot, because that ego is trying to identify as just him and, being the one who is right, like Kathy was saying. But there is a part of his soul that I feel that really wants you to, I know this sounds really bad and I would never normally say this, but this is what Spirit is showing me, really wants you to take him down, so to speak. Because the way they show it to me is it's as if intuitive, deep, insightful communication is what causes this sort of breakdown in his own soul. And that's what he's been avoiding for a very, very long time. Please understand that he has felt like he has to be this way based on how he was raised, the circumstances that he had to go through. I feel there was a lot of force put on him, and it's kind of molded him to where he is now. And this is what the soul is trying to release through this lifetime. So oftentimes when he's looking at you, he's looking at an aspect of himself that he has already pushed, shied away, right, trying not to acknowledge. So of course you're going to get ego. I think honestly, one of the biggest regrets, is that he is not honoring himself, and in turn, he's not honoring you. So this could really be, it really feels like this is a responsibility on your shoulders, Eliza, to heal ancestral wounds, to heal, part of your lineage here. And it does sadly feels like it falls on your shoulders here, because I think if you don't do it, it's just going to go next down the line. So it's up to you to make the decision if you're going to say, nope, the buck stops here. I'm not letting this continue anymore. And you might have to dig into him quite a bit, but you have to do so in a way where he receives it. And like Spirit is showing me, it's got to be deep, insightful, and I really think almost intuitive conversation between him, you laying it all kind of out onto him. So that's a tough one. I definitely feel for you.
I hope it helps. Yeah, if you're not on speaking terms, the thing is we always have a choice, right? We have a choice of, do I want to hurt myself more by trying to get to people to admit what they may not admit to? Or do we just let it go for now and I kind of feel like that sort of energy. Know that he has the regrets at the moment is what I keep getting. Know that he has the regrets.
Also, don't wait till it's too late. That
Mhm.
really is huge, because just don't wait till it's too late. Or
Yeah,
you can't speak at all.
exactly. So I hope that's helped, Luna. I hope it's given you some sort of, some sense of clarity. And Sophia is next. Sophia.
All right, Sagittarius.
Yeah, I
Sun,
have
Taurus.
to agree with you, Luna. I do feel like when you just sort of let it go, when it or come forward, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't put too much energy into what's the word? If you don't feel like it's a good thing for you to do, I would take Brandon's advice on this, though, for sure. Don't wait too long. Don't let it hurt you, is what I keep getting to. Don't let it hurt you. All right. Sophia, what was
No, we're skipping Andrea. I've got this on lock.
Oh, okay. All
We're
right.
skipping Andrea. She was supposed to be after Jenny.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let me just say the list I've got right now. I've got Andrea up next, then Sophia, then Libby, then Jeanette, then Lovetea, then Kay.
Okay.
All right. And then we've got adding Shanae. I've got Shanae on the list, and Adam. I'm adding you on the list here as well. I'll update that lottery list in just a moment.
For the lottery, right? Okay.
Okay. Andrea. Okay, so Andrea Pisces and Greg Pisces as well. Just wanted to know what is going on in our connection. How is he feeling?
They're both Pisces?
Yep.
Andrea, I have a funny question. Is one of you in March and one of you in February? I don't know why I felt like that. I don't know. I just I don't know why that okay, so what is he feeling? There's an energy here for some reason from the both of you that almost feels like both of them are in March. Okay. I don't know why I felt like that, but it felt like one was in February, one was in March. But it feels like there's an energy here. The first thing I get is there's an energy of one of you doing more than the other, or it feels like maybe you feel like maybe you've done more within this relationship. But at the same degree, are you guys on speaking terms, Andrea? Like, are you guys speaking right now? Can you give me some clarity on this? Because it really feels the energy that I'm getting coming through. It almost feels as though you're both in this place of, I don't know if this is subconscious or conscious, like, like energy that's being presented, or if this is just how you're feeling. It feels as though like one of you or you're both in this place of being stubborn and kind of, or that I've done enough, or they've done enough. It just feels like this back and forth sort of energetic field that's coming off. Oh, okay. On and off in the last 3 months. So it almost feels like there's a stubbornness from both of you that's coming on. Like it just feels like, well, I did this. Well, I did this. Well, I did this. And it doesn't particularly feel like competitive. It just feels as though both of you are too scared about putting too much energy into it because you're scared of being perceived as maybe chasing or even just putting too much energy into it. And so there's a hesitancy in here. When I'm looking into his energy, it feels a little it feels a little sad, to be honest. I feel a little bit of sadness coming through. And I'm not 100% sure as to why I'm getting this sadness, but I do feel that there's this energy here where he wants to reach out, he wants to contact, he wants to form some sort of stronger bond. I do feel a holding back in this. Again, this could have to do with this, back and forth type of energy. It's almost like both of you are a little bit too scared of revealing or being too vulnerable with each other. I feel like you both have been hurt. I really get this energy. It's like this hurt energy that's coming through. It's like I don't know who this is from or if this is from both of you, but at one point feelings were revealed. It may not have been to each other, but like to others, and which is what holding you guys back right now. It just feels as though I'm scared to come forward because of past experiences or past hurt or past pain that keeps penetrating through. I feel sadness coming from him. I do feel he wants to reach forward, and I'm literally being shown an arm stretched out. So as far as communication goes, normally I tell, oh, you're the one that's always open on how you feel. Yeah, that's okay. Is there a way for you guys to get together in person? Like ask if you guys can go for coffee or something along. I just feel like in-person communication would really open things up. It's almost like, what if you suggested that? And normally I actually really normally tell people not to do that. But it just feels like the two of you have to have some sort of in-person communication with each other in order to really help this to grow at this time. I do feel him expanding and letting this go, but I really feel like you need to in some way take down some barriers as well. And these are just energetic barriers. I know that you're the one that's always reached out. It could be the one that you're the one that doesn't want to be vulnerable anymore. Because you are always open with your feelings. But I do feel like you both are on this energetic connection that is very deep with each other. And I feel like as you let go and remove and help allow the vulnerability to come through, it doesn't mean that you have to be vulnerable, particularly in communication with him. It's being vulnerable with your heart energy just in general. And I do feel that might let down some barriers between the two of you, because it really feels like both of you have these domes around your hearts. And it's hard to get through in some way. And it feels like if you let down the barriers, it's like heart armor, right? Is what I keep getting. It's like armor around the heart. And if you allow this armor to start, coming off and your heart being exposed, again, even if you don't, particularly do this verbally or anything like that, I don't feel like that's going to be the issue. I feel it has to do energetically. So I hope that helps, because I feel like this relationship could really move forward. I actually feel like once communication was to truly open in a place where that heart armor is removed, the both of you just connect like this. It's like sparks, like connections. That is what I keep getting. So, Brandon, I don't know. Do you have anything to add to that?
I do. So, Andrea, when I'm looking here, the biggest thing that I'm being shown is that there's a lot of this psychic, imaginative, wishful energy and communication between the two of you. There is a lot happening within this sort of astral etheric realm between you both. And for whatever reason, I feel Greg being okay with it. Like he's fine with the distance. Like he feels as if, oh, okay, well, the distance must be serving something. I guess that's just how it's going to be. And I feel a lack of motivation here. That's why I really like Kathy's advice about getting together in person, but that just feels so hard for that to happen. That feels like almost impossible. And it just feels like, Kathy explained the way she saw it. The way I see it is a little bit different. It's not exactly armor the way that I see it. What I see is as if the both of you are in these pools of water and you're all the way at the bottom. And it's like you've completely lost yourselves where you're so blended with this water, you don't even realize that your own waterways are connected already. And so it's like you're both struggling to get to the surface when you could just meet underneath the water and float to the top together. But there's so much that is happening in a restriction on the own personal selves. And what Spirit keeps showing me is this one solid piece. Yes, exactly. He wants to avoid it. It's good that you're taking the initiations, Andrea, but it's not what he is receptive to. He, as much as he has been in a stagnant position, he has to be the one to create the initiations. I know part of you knows that, but it's frustrating to sit here and wait for him to figure out when is that even going to happen? What the hell? So Spirit is showing me that there is this sort of renewed sense of a connection between the both of you, but they are giving me an insight into how it comes about and the things that you need to do to make this happen. They're showing me that the way that which the two of you are going to connect is going to feel like your inner childs are coming and meeting each other. They're like dancing together. They're reconnecting. They're feeling this like very clear, losing sense of time, losing, all surroundings around you. It's like the two of you are just boom, laser focused into each other. And in a different sense of losing your sense of self. I know that might be a little bit confusing, but you Pisces understand it. What is the best thing for you to do right now, Andrea, is for you to be going back into your own childhood perspective. I don't mean to like revert and, not know words or anything like that. What I'm saying is get in touch with the emotions back with the child and work on this relationship with her. I am having this very clear vision of you and your adult self talking to your child self and just crying. I see you crying. I see you having so much compassion for this little girl, and I'm seeing you give her love. And Spirit keeps showing me that this is going to be like a really important healing moment for you. And why this is affecting you and Greg is because there is that psychic channel or connection that I had mentioned earlier between the both of you. That energy is going to be sent over because this is what Greg has to really get back into as well. There is this damage in his soul, and that's why the initiation is not happening. That's why he's in this place of complacency, of just sitting and letting things be. He absolutely does feel that there's still some kind of connection between the two of you, but as I've said, he's just totally complacent. He's like, oh, well, the distance, it must be what it is, so let's just let it be what it is, instead of actually taking active action to move on the connection that he does feel with you. So there are things that you can do, but you really are going to have to work with this at a almost astral, etheric level to create movement between the both of you. Because right now, it's like the both of you are drowning, and it's most important to save yourself right now. This is a tough connection. Tough.
It is a very tough connection because, again, there's just it just feels like neither one wants to really open. Well, mostly from him, you're willing to open, but you've already opened. And that, that does, I still feel like he wants to come forward. He does want some
I do feel that
connection.
as well.
Yeah. I feel like the connection is absolutely there. I feel he recognizes it. And that could also be, what I feel like, I want to say to you, I feel like doing some chakra meditation, chakra work, just to help open up that energy, those channels that are within you. And at the very least, because right now with this connection, you do feel very restricted in general. Like your energy, it's not fully flowing at this moment, because I do feel that, you're scared to move forward. You're scared of it, like, because of his reaction. I do feel that by doing some chakra work, and you can, literally you can find chakra meditations on YouTube, even play them while you're sleeping. But it does feel, or even look for one that's like 10 minutes, like a chakra meditation, that's quick, 10-20 minutes. Do this every day for about a week or so, just to help clear off and help align yourself at this moment, because I do feel that it will make a difference. Okay. Let's go into, on a second. Who is next?
Very welcome, Andrea. Okay, so our Sophia is up next. Sophia, are you with us? Let me make sure we've got this here. May I ask how far off you are? Okay, you are after Love T. So you've got Sophia, Libby, Jeanette, Love T, Kay, and then Will. And then there's an Cassandra?
Cassandra, yeah.
Where, are these people off of Facebook? Because I can't see those. So if people are on Facebook and they're donating and they're asking questions, I cannot see your questions, so I don't have you on my list.
I believe so, but let me just double check. Sandra is on Facebook. Yes. Okay. Hi, Sandra. Good to see you. And there is a question from Louisa as well that, hey guys, if you are on Facebook and you do want to go into the lottery, please go on to Oracle Intuitions, the channel, simply because then Brandon's able to see. He doesn't see the Facebook the Facebook messages, so it's hard to put you into the lottery. We want to make sure that we do have you if we have time. And thanks, Cathryn. Yeah, remember to like and share the video. Thank you. We truly appreciate it. Thank you. What was Sophia's question? I'm sorry. Do you have it?
Yes, but there. Okay, she's here. Sophia, Sagittarius Sun, Taurus rising. How is my person, who is a Taurus Sun, feeling? We're very close, but don't express our romantic feelings because now we're at a distance. Planning a trip soon, though. Thank you.
Can you repeat that one more time? It's like I need to hear it one more thing.
Yep. So Sophia, Sagittarius Sun, how is my person, who is a Taurus, feeling? We're very close, but don't express our romantic feeling because now we're at a distance.
And they're going on a trip soon?
Yeah, they're planning a trip soon.
Okay. I do feel this trip will make a huge difference. As far as what he is feeling towards you, what's interesting is I really get, Sophia, this energy that when he thinks of you, his heart, like it's that corny expression, his heart skips a beat. I do get this energy. I feel that he can be very, at times, he can be very reserved. And it's almost as though he hesitates in his energy towards you. Not hesitates in the energy towards you because he's not feeling it. It's almost as though, it's a hesitancy of saying too much or saying, like he holds back a little bit. I do feel, though, I feel a sense of excitement that comes from him. I don't know exactly how you guys communicate, if you guys are communicating, through like text or video or something like that. But I am getting a sense that when there's a message from you, or when he wants to communicate with you, or when there is some sort of energy towards you, it's a sense of excitement that comes through. Have you guys met in person before? Like, have you guys been together, or is it just that there's a distance between you physically for right now for some reason? If you can kind of confirm that, if you're here.
Ask that again.
Are you guys living separately? Like, is the distance separate?
Yeah, I've gathered that they aren't. You said because now we're at a distance.
Because I just feel, well, you've met before. Okay. I just keep feeling this excitement coming through for when this meet happens, or when this trip happens, or whatever it is. It just feels very excited to see each other. I'm hearing that there's plans. He's got something to do with plans in his head in regards to this trip. So I don't feel that it has to do with the preparing of the trip or anything like that. It feels like he has dreams or a subconscious going on in regards to the trip, meaning that when you guys are on the trip, it feels like he wants to present something to you, or he's excited to see you. And okay, we met on a work training for 6 months, and now back in our home's office, which are in different countries. It feels like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, when I see her on, this trip, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to, express myself, or I'm going to, take her some particular place, or whatever it is. It just feels like there's a plan in there. And I do feel that he's very excited to spend time with you. I feel like the work can be in some ways a barrier for some reason, but I don't feel it's enough of a barrier for the two of you to not be together. I don't know how to explain this, but I do feel that he's very excited to see you, and that you give him that sense of excitement throughout the days to see you, or to talk to you, or to spend some sort of time with you. Yeah. Did you have anything to add to that, Brandon?
Yeah, Sophia, I want to address the energy I feel first between the two of you. The very first thing that I feel is like, it's like the both of you are in this weird space of limbo where you're not fully sure what's going to happen. You both are like in this very interesting space. Now, the negative and positive of this. The negative is that you both have no idea what's going to happen and where things are going to go. You don't even know if it's going to happen and where things are going to go. The positive side of this is that literally everything is ready for the both of you to create. You're at this perfect blank slate right now. And so makes perfect sense why you're curious about, what in the world is going to happen. Where is he with his thoughts, what he's feeling? So when I'm tapped into him, I do, like Kathy, feel this kind of strong sense of excitement in connection with your energy. I feel this feeling of like abundance, like this person is valuable. Like I see it, I sense it, I feel it, and I know it. And so I definitely feel that, he has you really close to his heart here. The one thing that I am picking up, because I am asking Spirit what's to come here in the future. And this is very similar to what we were just reading with Andrea, as far as the childlike feeling and giddiness. I'm getting this as well between the both of you. But even more interestingly, what I keep being shown is that there is this feeling, this compulsion, this impulse to start planning some idea of a future. And you're going to notice that coming up. The more that you plan this like trip, the more you both are going to feel like, yo, we're really good at this planning thing. It feels like we're really good with like being on the same page. And Spirit keeps showing me that before you know it, you're going to be planning like where you want to live, where you both want to put roots. So be really clear. If you've thought about that in yourself, know that this could potentially change based on your connection together. I do feel like this trip would be a great idea, but it is going to be very emotionally challenging because the both of you feeling this connection and then feeling that distance. It's going to drive some very difficult emotional moments to confront with ego. So be clear in yourself. Know where you are in your own self and your own goals. But if your own goals have to do with what happens in a personal relationship with you, that malleability is going to be favorable to this connection between you and Mr. Taurus here. So take this blank slate as a beautiful time and a beautiful gift, because the more that you connect together and the more that you keep meeting up with each other, it's like the future becomes more narrow, not in a negative way, but it becomes more narrow because it's putting this focal point on the two of you. I'm telling you, before you know it, you'll be planning what country you're going to live in and how your roots grow together and all this.
I want to address what you're saying too. I feel like when you guys go on this trip that's coming up, it really feels like there's going to be conversations in regards to what Brandon was just saying. It just feels like he's thought about stuff. He's been thinking about stuff. He's been wanting to present something in some way. Now, I mean, this doesn't mean this is going to be, possibly the conversation of, the be all end all, like marry me today type of thing. But I feel like something is coming through when you guys spend time together on this next trip, when you guys do see each other again. It feels like, again, presentation, or he wants to present you with something, make an offer, or he might just kind of skip around it and see where your feelings are. So like Brandon said, be very clear in what it is that you're wanting. Don't hesitate on it. Don't, be, well, what do you want? That kind of energy. Or, oh, I'm okay with anything. No, be very clear, because I feel like he does want to make plans. He does want something to come through. So yeah, I hope that's helped. Naomi, thank you so much. Anne and Cathryn, thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it, you guys. Big hugs to you all. And, thank you so much. We hope to see you next week. Sophia, I hope that's given you some clarity, and I hope that's helped.
So I still don't have anything from me. Oh wait, please let me know about my marriage and my VA disability. I think that's Isandra. Okay.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Okay, so Isandra is after Will. Let me just update my list since.
You're so welcome, Sophia.
Sandra, can you please let us know your zodiac sign or your date of birth? Would definitely appreciate that, love.
I believe she's Virgo.
You believe?
Yeah, she's Virgo. You're so welcome, Naomi. Thank you. Okay.
Is that confirmed? I'm sorry.
What's that?
Was that confirmed with Isandra? She's Virgo.
She just did. Yeah, Virgo.
I can't see, sorry. Okay. Again, if you're on Facebook Live, you do want a reading, please pop over to YouTube so I can make sure I don't skip you. I did post the list.
You're so welcome. Yeah.
So if you did not see your name, then I do not have your question. So make sure you get that to us. Got a few people as well for our donation, or our lottery list. I'm not sure how many we'll be able to get to. We still got a few more to do with our donations, so just hang tight. And I'll let you know where we're at. Okay, so up next, we've got Libby.
Libby. Okay.
Libby, Liberty. Give Libby a second to make sure she's here in the chat. Then we've got Jeanette, Love TK, Will, and Isandra in that order. And good to have you here, love. Thank you. And Cathryn, always sending love to my Cathryn, although they both might be gone already. Okay. Libby is here. Libby's in Aries and is wondering, which ancestors are more connected to me?
Oh my goodness. Okay. Liberty, I've got to ask, because there's something that's coming through almost immediately. Is there, no, it's okay, Sandra. We've got you. We have you here. We're good. I have you on, we have you in the questions, so we're good. Libby, is there, okay, so as far as ancestors, I can't go back, okay, at this moment. We don't have the time for that, for me to do, a deep dive like that. I am getting a darker man coming through here. And when I say darker, I do feel, I don't know if this is an indigenous type of skin tone. It feels, this could be indigenous. It could be Mexican. Like I feel like a deep, like this feels as though it is it's definitely male. It's a grandfather that's coming through. I want to say this is the outfit that he's wearing is interesting. Can you just tell me what your background is? Because what I'm getting here, what's that?
That's really cool that you're seeing that.
Yeah. Well, because I don't know. I don't want to, I guess, say the wrong thing, but what I'm saying, what I'm getting in here is I'm seeing an outfit, not an outfit. It's like original clothing, original dress, original, but I don't know where this is coming from. If you can just kind of give me a little bit of your background first. This is definitely a male.
I do pick up on the male as well.
I keep getting a bigger nose. Like it's almost like a bigger nose. I want to say he's I don't want to say he's black in skin tone. It's more like I want to say indigenous, half Hispanic, Native. Okay, there we go. Because this is the energy that it wasn't okay. You just basically, I said Mexican and indigenous, so there we go. It just felt like Hispanic, Mexican, that sort of thing. The nose, his nose is very distinctive, and it's almost like a little, not quite eagle, you know what I mean? But he reminds me of a very strong man in his facial features. His facial features are very strong. I want to say that when he was younger, he was very good looking, very good looking. And I do see original clothing with him. Like basically what he's showing me here is I am seeing original dress. I'm going to just tell you what I see and you can tell me maybe, because I am seeing beads. I am seeing a feather but I wouldn't say like all feathers. Like I'm not seeing, an indigenous headdress particularly. It seems like I'm being shown more the feathers than him wearing the feathers. Okay. He may have had some feather, but it's not a full like headdress or anything like that. But his features are very, very distinctive. High cheekbones. The nose, like I said, the nose is very distinctive, but it's not large or it's not abnormal or anything like that. It's just that it's part of his features that when he would have been, let's say in his 20s, he would have been strikingly handsome, like drop dead type of handsome, that kind of look about him. I want to say that I don't know if this is actually a grandfather. I want to say he almost could be great grandfather because he's coming through as original. Like when I talk about it, he doesn't feel particularly, maybe early 1900s, but he's not coming through as early, like later 1900s. I don't know if that makes sense. So I don't know if this is somebody that you already, happen to know of. I want to say early 1900s. I even want to actually maybe even go back to later 18 or more. Okay. This does not, now here's the thing. This man was very, very wise, Libby. Very, very wise. And he has great grandfather. There we go. Okay. Very wise. Oh, and he gives me chills. I like this guy. Learn your culture. Learn your culture, he talks about. So if you know which side he comes from, he says, learn your culture. Does he drop feathers? Do you find feathers a lot, Libby? Because he keeps showing me feathers. Kickapoo tribe. Okay. He keeps showing me feathers, like he may be even presenting them to you. There's something about you that is very distinctive with him. I feel like he is extremely protective. Yes, white feathers. Okay, thank you so much for confirming that. Because he keeps showing me, he's handing me you feathers, like I don't know. So learn your culture. This is very important to him. Learn your culture, but embrace what is now. Okay, I hope that makes sense to you.
That's exactly what I was being shown as well, Kathy. That's my one message that I'm picking up here is that know when change is bad and when you should be embracing tradition, but also make sure that you're keeping current. And the other thing he keeps saying is like to know when to hold back the clouds. I have no idea what that means. I have no clue. He's like saying know when to.
I think I do know what he's talking about. I feel like he okay. So Libby, it's hard to do ancestral ones, presenting the full message because I really truly do not want to in any way, be culturally or what sounds like culturally inappropriate or wrong. Or I hope that makes sense to you guys. But what I'm getting here is when I hear hold back the clouds, he is really saying, look at generations were different. Generations have grown. Generations have changed. Embrace your tradition, but do not allow the clouds to envelope you of what was. Okay. That's what I keep feeling. It's basically saying, again, live now, but embrace your tradition. I feel like this is very important, moving forward. He taps you on the shoulder. Did you know that? Did you know that he taps you on the shoulder? Or he puts his hand, it's like his hand comes through on your shoulder quite often to guide. So if you get that energy, like you feel like you have to turn, that's him. That's him behind you. That is him guiding you. That's him standing beside you. But listen to the message that is coming through when you feel that energy around you, because I keep hearing, stay calm, little one. Stay calm, little one. Okay. So I feel like that's his indication of, as Brandon had mentioned with the cloud, don't let those clouds envelope you. Okay. Stay calm, little one. I feel like that's very important. I hope that's helped.
That's very cool, Kathy. And obviously, you know, it takes a lot to do ancestral readings. And clearly it's so obvious. You just need time to be able to like do this, right? You know, you need time to get in, feel that relationship out, feel what's going on there. If people wanted to get something like that with you, where can they contact you to get a full reading?
Yeah, you guys can contact me at oracleintuition.com or through my Facebook and my Instagram. Send me a message. And, you know, if you want to do a medium reading or like an ancestral reading, I'm more than happy to tap into that for you. Usually, you know, and when I do medium readings, there can be a lot or there can be one specific that will want to come through. So, you know, in the time that we do have, you know, during our reading, I will present as much as possible. But yeah, I hope that's helped, Livy. You know, he's there, he's with you. So all the time. And like I said, you know, stay calm, little one. That's his. Yeah.
All right, we got to move on here. We're running out of time very, very quickly. We've got Jeanette up next. And Jeanette would like to know, question, tell me what I need to know. Taurus.
Jeanette, tell me what I need to know.
Taurus, right to the point. I love it.
There you go. Okay, what do you need to know? Is it okay if I run to the bathroom and I'll let Brandon kind of just take this one first? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with that, Brandon? If I'm putting you on the spot?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I really have to go to the bathroom now. I apologize. Okay. I'll be right back.
All right, Jeanette. So let me just tap in here with your energy. Okay. So the first thing that I'm being shown is that I don't know how it's being guided. Spirit keeps showing me all sorts of messages getting thrown into your third eye, into the mind, into the intuition here. They're showing me that there's been a lot of coincidences that have been coming up lately around your energy. And what they're all indicating is that they're throwing change at you. They're throwing some kind of change at you. And Spirit keeps showing me that you are in this space, this energy. Again, I don't know if you've felt it yet, but you are about to, if you have not. Cutting stuff out, making very sharp decisions. I don't know even if you've been contemplating not making the change, but what Spirit keeps showing me is that you're about to go through a period where you're going to become lighter. I don't know why that feels important, because when I connect with that energy, I can feel all these different, like, they're ropes and they've got weights, and that weight are tied to different responsibilities of other people, and they are just all tied onto you, really pulling down on you, pulling down, making you feel more gravity, making you feel as if you just have to carry through with all this other people's baggage. Even it feels like it's great because you are dependable. Right? That's a great thing to have. It's a great thing to be a dependable, reliable person, and very true to Taurus form. Absolutely. But it just feels like I can feel you being frustrated with it, because it's starting to become a drain on your energy and you're not getting really anything in return. So this period right now feels really important to keep adopting this energy, to know that you are amidst a change right now, and that you are going to be able to travel through your own path, your own life, being lighter. So cutting off the unnecessaries, it's still extremely important right now, but also keep using, your own intuition as far as what to specifically cut off, because you don't want to be dramatic and just cut everything off and disconnect, and then all of a sudden you're like literally floating away off the earth. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need that extreme. You still need grounding. You still need that sense of grounding for yourself, but cutting off the unnecessary so you can travel with a lighter lift in your own step. This is definitely the time for that. And using the intuition is going to kind of, okay, so Spirit shows me it's like your intuition is going to be working almost like a metal detector, where you're kind of looking at all the things, that are attached to you, you feel like are shifting right now. And as you scan over, it's like, ding, 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 ding. That's the thing that's going to be beeping, that it just kind of makes it. Now, that could be a little bit confusing. Let me bring some clarity here. Allow the intuition to know when you feel the dinging, okay, that's something I'm intuitively connected to, versus this is the thing that I need to cut off. So you need to set a distinguishment between the two in your own mind of like, okay, what do I need to cut off? And then you do the scanning. And if you hear the dinging, that's, that moment. You might not even hear the dinging, but you'll feel the impulses. You'll feel the spikes in your energy. You might feel really flushed with heat all of a sudden. You might feel a little tingling in your stomach. You might feel a tingling in the third eye. It'll be something. I know it'll translate physically. So just be clear what you're detecting. What are things I need to keep, or what are things I need to disconnect and cut out right now. But this is absolutely the time. Keep cutting off the things that are just constantly weighing you down. This is that time for transition right now. All right, Kathy.
Okay, so I don't know anything that Brandon said because I was typing. So I'm just going to tell you what I get. It was funny. I'm in the bathroom. I hear Katy Perry singing the fight song. Why am I hearing the fight song, Jeanette? Because I feel like this has to do with you in some way. I believe it. No, is it Katy Perry that sings it? Or I think, no, maybe it's somebody else that sings it.
How's it go? This is my fight song.
Right. Yeah.
Rachel something, I think.
Yeah. Okay. So this is the song that I kept hearing coming through. It's not Katy Perry. It's whatever her name is. And I feel like, okay, this has to do with you in some way. Yeah, it might be Rachel Patterson. I'm not really sure. I'd have to actually Google it, but this is what I keep hearing for you. And it feels like a victory song in some way for you. And I'm not exactly sure what this is presenting, but it does feel like you may understand what is happening or what that message is for you. I keep hearing, keep going, keep pushing through. I'm also getting, you don't always need to fight. I don't know if that has to do with an energy or something that you feel like you may have to defend yourself at times. I'm not exactly sure what that has to do with. You may want to clarify that for me. But this song kept playing in my head. And I feel like it's a very direct message for you. What was it that you had told her, Brandon? I'm so sorry.
That she is in this really important transition period right now. There's a bunch of stuff linked to her energy that she is just cutting off left and right, and that finally she's stepping into this place of being lighter finally. So that fight song, Rachel Platten, by the way, sings that. This is just the time. This is the time to get that bounce in her step to kind of really push forward. We're in Virgo season, so it's that time. It's that time for that dedicated hard work, because those rewards and payouts are definitely coming. I feel more it's going to be at the January-ish time, that what you're cutting out now, those rewards, yes, you'll be lighter in your step, but you're really going to see a return on the hard work you do now in like January. I don't know why that feels significant, but it's what I keep feeling.
I just kept hearing those words. This is my fight song. This is my fight. So I feel like keep going, keep pushing through. I keep hearing also embrace what is now. Embrace. It's weird because I heard that I believe that was for Libby as well. But it just feels like in the moment. Okay, what I'm getting here is the moment. It's not the time period, but literally the moment. And I'm being shown footsteps in the sand. It kind of feels like, that poem that comes, what is it? Or that saying, when you felt like, when you felt that you were alone, you only saw one set of footsteps in the sand. Know that you're being carried. Know that you're being helped. Know that your guides are with you. Know that Jesus is with you. Know that God is with you, helping you through this. It just feels as though the purpose of the trials. Oh, did you say I used to think about it all the time? This is the fight song. Okay, that's pretty cool. All right, is that a song that was going through your head? That's kind of cool. The purpose of the trial. You know what? Literally the energy that I'm getting. So I don't know the direct purpose. All I can tell you really is the actual energy of what I keep experiencing, looking into your energy. And it really feels like this, like you're almost tensed up, ready for, it feels like there's an energy here through confrontation, or you're waiting for something to, happen. And it just feels like this energy of ready to defend yourself. Maybe not physically fight, but it just feels like your energy, it's like this force field that's come down, and you're ready for somebody to like come through it like that. That's what I keep getting. And I feel like what is happening here is you're learning to, as you go through this process, some of those shields are going to come down. It's time to embrace life. Look at, not everything needs to be in a bad way. Not everything needs to be like, start looking at the beauty again. And it's like the shields are coming down in order to give you a clearer picture. I feel like beforehand you may have had, I'm not going to say rose-colored glasses. I'm going to say like sunglasses that are blackened out so that you're not seeing the true beauty and stuff, because of the fact that you've always felt like you may have had to defend yourself, or had to fight, or had to put up a shield. And now it's like literally I'm seeing us. Okay. In the old armor or old movies that you get with the knights or whatever, and they have the shields with that little strip of something, like a welder's kind of shield, but it's like the welder's glass, but this shield, that's how I'm envisioning it. And now that you can allow that to start letting down, you're going to start seeing things in their true colors and your true sense of enlightenment. Okay.
Yeah, we do got to move on here, but just to really quick, Jeanette, I feel like the purpose of all this is it's about you figuring out discernment. It's your soul is so ready to just love and connect and be open with people and sharing, and you have sadly found that it's not always the case. And this is the time to learn discernment for yourself. You can't always give all of that love to everybody else, because one, they're going to drain it, or two, it'll never be back and return to you. This is the lesson to learn about discernment. But like Kathy said, you are stepping into that place of figuring out how to open back up again, because you're figuring out what is going to be truly valuable. That's why this cutting out of things is really important right now. So exercise discernment. That's kind of the purpose of all this. But I hope this helps, Jeanette. Thank you.
Perfect. Who is
Love T is up next.
Okay.
Love T, love T, love T. All right. R's, Capricorn's intentions and actions towards me, Aries.
What are ours?
R's intentions and actions towards Love T.
Okay. I'm getting a lot of energy here that this man is okay. When I say playing a game, I don't mean he's playing a game with your heart. He's not being a player. But there's this energy here of it's almost like a little kid that is playing a game, and there's a sense of being how do I explain this? It's not a negative energy. Okay, I want to say this first of all. It's not particularly a negative energy. It just it just feels very immature. It feels like an immature type of energy right now. It almost feels like I feel like his intentions are to develop a relationship here, but there's so many immature energies that are kind of going around him. Again, I don't feel he's a player. I don't feel that he's playing you. Okay. When I say play, it's almost like a kid, like he doesn't know exactly how to become into a serious energy within himself in order to present something to you quite yet. It's like he's still trying to discern what his own feelings are, what his own energy is. Has there been communication with you and him, Love T? Because it does feel like, I almost feel like him poking at you, like wanting to come through. And I think I felt that in the past before, but it feels like he wants to present something, or he's trying to get your attention, something along that line. It's like a kid that pokes somebody and runs away. Okay. I still feel this coming through. I do feel this coming through. Has there been like, I don't know. It feels like he's trying in some way to get your attention. So are you guys on social media with each other? I believe it was you. Was he blocked before? I can't remember. And then you let him in. Maybe it's somebody else that I'm thinking about. But right now I feel to do nothing. He's going through a lot of energetic realizations and changes. And I keep wanting to say, oh, we actually just moved back to campus. Give him a little bit of time. Because I do feel like there's going to be some sort of movement forward, but it may come through as immature at first. Okay. Like, now that you guys are both back on campus, it may be, that you happen to see him in the hallways all the time, but know that he's initiating this in some way. Or it may be that he appears at, get-togethers or something like that. Like, I just keep feeling it's almost like he's inching forward, but he's doing it in an immature manner at this moment. But just give him some time. I do feel he wants to move this forward. I hear October. There's going to be a lot of movement forward. It may happen little bits by bits throughout this month, though. Now that you guys are, you're going to start seeing, each other. There's going to be some sort of connection. But I hear something about October where you may be able to have that actual communication with each other. So I hope that's helped. And Brandon, did you pick up anything?
Yes. So I too am feeling that sort of gameplay. The way that Spirit is showing it to me is that his intentions, it's like he's initiating contact and communication, and he's also being distant with contact and communication. So it's this immediate flux. It's this immediate paradox that I feel in him. And I feel this all has to do with him still being totally unsure of what he wants, and still also being unsure how receptive you are to him. But I'm gonna have to agree with Kathy as well, because what I am being shown is that there's a little bit of immaturity here. As far as the actions that are coming through and whatever actually ends up coming out. And so you are most likely going to see him doing things as far as like this friendship level, but he's just trying to gauge and figure out where you are as well. So if those moments of passing do happen, definitely take them, as kind of important or significant. And really just, I think, honestly, just meet him at his level, because he's still trying to feel everything out right now. other than that, there's not much I think that you really need to do. I can feel your energy, though, really wanting to give him a piece of your mind.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's up to you if you really want to let that out or not. I don't feel anything positive or negative coming from it. It feels pretty neutral. So just really honestly, and I think you know exactly how to do this, just live in the moment. Like literally right there, whenever you do run into each other or a moment comes up. Because there is still feeling here. But as far as his actions and intentions, it's kind of up in the air because it is also dependent on you.
Yeah, I hope that's helped, Lefty. Yeah, that's my thoughts exactly right now, she says. Yeah, just sort of let it be right now. I do feel him, like you may notice, you know, like I said, little things, because I keep feeling these pokes. And I've kind of felt that before too, but it almost feels, and when I say pokes, it means like, you know, trying to get your attention somehow, you know, like a little kid, poke, poke, run, 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 poke, poke, run, 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 like Knockador Ginger. You remember that? Remember that game? That's almost like where he, you know, his energy is at this moment. So let him play that out, and you know, stay in that energy of knowing what it is that you want for the future with him. Don't let him, you know, just he'll grow up. He will make that more a stable energy. It's just him kind of testing the waters, I feel, for right now. So
dipping those toesies in.
Dipping those toesies in.
Sometimes you just gotta.
Yeah.
Before you jump, right?
Exactly.
I don't know. Sometimes I'll jump in. I made that mistake one time at a spring here in Austin, and I did not realize that the water was like 60-something degrees, and woo! That was a shock.
There's a turtle moment for you.
I was like, oh my God. But what's amazing is that water is like healing. Every time I go in there, like something sheds from my body. Like I am healed and emotional. It's amazing. So cool.
That's awesome.
So come visit me in Austin and we can go swimming in this spring.
There you go.
Not in the springtime, but the spring itself.
Yeah.
Okay. Kay is up next, and we've got Will, and then we've got Isandra.
Okay.
For our donation list. Hello, Shanae. Hello.
Hello, Shanae.
I've still got you on the list, love. You are number 5. So any of you that are
we are going to really
the
try to get
lottery,
to the list, though, guys. We might be only do a, you know, maybe only be able to do a couple, but we'll see. We'll probably get people to check in first because I know that some people did have to leave, so we'll do that.
Actually, why don't we just do a check real quick?
Yeah.
Kay, Will,
if you're
Isandra.
here and still watching, put your name down below.
Yeah, or just say hello, put a wavy, something so that we know you're still here if you are on the list. If you're just watching, hi. Welcome.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, because we are running over a little bit. Okay. We've got Kay up next. Kay is a Virgo. Kayla. I feel like that's the first time I've ever seen her name. Is that it? No. Is it? I don't know. We've just always called her Kay.
Kay's mentioned her name before. Kayla.
Okay. Kayla. No, I'm going to call you Kayla because I know your name. Kayla, Virgo. My question is, how does Sarah feel about me?
Okay. You know, so I'm getting this energy from Sarah here. I need to use real words rather than just in my head. So hang on a second, because I always have trouble with my words. She's curious. I get a lot of curiosity. It feels like her feelings towards you are even curious. It feels as though okay, for some reason, Kayla, I do feel that is there a man attached to her in some way? This could be a partner of some sort or a boyfriend. It just feels like there's a masculine energy that I feel near her in some manner. So if you can just kind of, yes, okay. I feel she's very confused about this energy. Okay. It's really, really confusing her. Like the energy that she has with you and the energy that she has with him. It's very much confusing her. She loves the man, of course. I feel like there is a love there. I wouldn't say she's in love, or anything like that. It's a comfort feeling. It's a comfort love. Okay. But I'm getting her like this, like with you, like she's hot for you. Is what I want to say is the energy that I keep getting. She wants to, okay. I do feel that there is a sense of her having trouble with the, can I explore this part of myself without dealing with the implications that may come with it? I hope that makes sense. It does feel like this is going to be a huge change for her to follow where her heart and her body and her instincts are heading towards, because I do feel that she wants to, I just read here, she's coming to terms with her sexuality. That's exactly what I feel. I feel like she wants to explore this. However, there's a lot of fear there. I'm also really getting here, Kayla, which is a good thing, although you may not see it as a good thing right away. I do feel that as much as she is feeling these desires towards you, she also doesn't want to just pursue it out of a sexual nature. She truly does not want to hurt you, and she truly does not want to have regrets with you, okay? Because I do feel like I feel like a deep admiration for you on top of these desires. So whether or not you two have been intimate or not at this point, I am getting here that she wants to make sure that she's in a good place for this, or this is something that she can pursue without there being hurt surrounding it, or where she has, I don't mean regrets towards you, but regrets towards, it's taking a big step forward. And that's where I do feel her hesitancy. Okay. This is a lifestyle change, or that could be a lifestyle change. There's friends, there's family, there's all kinds of things around her that she also has to take in consideration besides her desires. And I feel like that is something that is weighing on her. The easy thing to do would be to be with this man. That's the easy thing. But that pull towards you is very, very strong. And that's something that she is struggling with at this point.
Yeah, you gotta know, Kayla. I mean, this has to be baby steps for her.
Yeah.
She is totally unsure of herself, and she's essentially restructuring her core self. So this definitely is going to take time. I don't know if you know her zodiac sign. I'd be curious to see what it is. I think that might help us. For me, I know it'll help me see the steps that she is going to take, just based on the sun. It's the motor. It's how we are called to action. So if I know their zodiac, I can know kind of how they move. But what I will tell you, as far as your question, Libra. Oh, okay. I had
so there's a lot of indecisiveness to begin with in their core energy. Okay?
Oh yeah, and they Libra women especially, I feel like they've got to weigh everything out. That's why it's the scale, that balance. They got to weigh out, what is this, what is that. So if that is the case, then I could see her really needing to be calculated at this time. Either way, I still feel her taking those baby steps. She has to take her time through all of this. Per your question, and to answer your question as well, before we go on to the next one, immediately what I'm shown is this open heart. immediately there is this clear emotional connection that she does have and feel with you. And what you're seeing right now, when you're seeing her fidget, when you're seeing her be reluctant, when you're seeing her be a little bit open, you're seeing her relationship with her own emotions. And that's why this is so important, and why it does need to be taken with baby steps, is because she's dealing with accepting her emotions in a whole different way than she ever has. What I'm also being shown is that there is a really deep loyalty and camaraderie of friendship between the both of you that kind of adds to the base of all of the other feelings. There is loving feelings, there is emotional connection, and there is this sort of loyalty that she feels in connection here with you. So in my personal opinion and advice, let her take her time. Do not force, kick, push her out, pun intended, in out, you know what I mean? Don't out her or anything. Let her be as she needs to. She needs to develop the relationship with this process all on her own. And you need to also be very careful in this territory of not being the one that just is letting her come out or anything like that. And you don't want to be the one that she's outed with, because then you might just turn into that crutch for her. But at the same time, you can be supportive in this process, but also not selling yourself short to experience a relationship between the both of you that can be shared mutually and equally. So just feel it out as you have been. I'm glad to know she's still hot for me. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she is. It's
Definitely
just
is.
like, yeah, exactly like Brandon said. You don't want to. This is something that somebody has to come to terms with within themselves. It can't be pushed. It can't be prodded. It can't be, forced on, because
And I don't even think she's like fully gay. I don't think she's fully homosexual. I think it's just, it's something with you that she feels, this really important pull to in herself, and she can't quite figure it out. So make sure she knows that she can define and, define her sexuality however she needs to. Bisexual, totally homosexual, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's perfectly unique to her, and that's what she's figuring out. Those are those baby steps.
Yeah. I hope that's helped, hun. Thank you.
Thank you, Kayla. Always good to have you back, love.
Yeah. It's always good to see you.
All right, Will. I'm not sure if Will's here. He said he's at work, I believe.
Yeah, he said he'll watch later on, so that's okay.
Okay, cool. So we can get to that, and then we'll do Isandra here. So Will, Taurus, general reading of life and love.
Life and love. So many Tauruses.
Yeah, we're taking over.
Many Tauruses, I tell you. It's this Taurus energy, and you guys are supposed to be so grounded. Sometimes. You're not sometimes, though. Okay, Will. I feel like there might be somebody at work that you could have an interest in. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Kind of feels like you're watching somebody, maybe perhaps if it's not right now, it could be coming up. Could be somebody newer or somebody that you've had an attraction to. I keep hearing, show who you are. Stop holding back. I don't know exactly what that has to do with. I don't know if that has to do particularly with this in as far as your love life goes. But it's interesting because, again, I can't tell if this is present energy or upcoming energy. And when I talk about upcoming energy, I don't feel it's like months down the line energy. I'm talking like, days, weeks type of energy. But it feels, and I keep getting shown somebody could be watching you as well. It's like, I just keep seeing, I literally am seeing like a pole, okay, or like a pillar, and both of you kind of peeking out behind it like this. And one here, one's peeking there. What's he doing? Well, what's she doing? That kind of energy. So again, I don't know if this is current energy or if this is upcoming energy. I can't quite tell. because I'm just getting shown as it is. So it feels as though I keep hearing, don't hold yourself back. Be who you truly are. Do not, you don't need to hide. I can't, like, again, you know, it's like that energy of the pole. It's like, you don't need to hide. You don't need to hide behind it. You can express yourself. I feel like a lot of connection with this person. Like once you guys start talking, like you could, you know, get really right into it. I don't know if this is I wish you were here because I'd like to, you know, I would love to be able to ask you about that. If this is somebody in your current energy, because I do feel it feels here, but it could be upcoming. It could be just showing me, you know, somebody. And again, it could be days or weeks. Like, I don't feel like this isn't months or years or, you know, any of that nonsense. This is like, it feels very current, but it could be upcoming. You know, it's interesting because I feel like there's something that you still want to do that is going to be more stable as far as work goes. I feel right now, you know, if you're still doing what you were doing the last time we spoke, I feel like this is just to gain money, and that's fine. But something else is coming. I still feel this mentor coming through for you in the next little while, or somebody that is going to help you build or become what it is, you know, that's going to lead you down a different path, or give you some sort of uprising in what it is that you're doing now. I still feel this happening. It'd be interesting to find out if you did meet this person or somebody has presented themselves in this way. Yeah. Stay present. Stay present. Is what I keep hearing. Stay present is what I keep hearing. Don't worry. It almost feels like your head keeps jumping into the future. And then you kind of go into a place of panic, and it can kind of hold you back a bit. Okay. So what I keep getting is stay present and allow things to move forward. So I hope that's helped. Do you get anything, Brandon?
Yeah, well, you really got to be paying attention, bud. There are things that are walking right past you that you really got to make sure you're taking notice of.
Which
Like,
really could have to do with the fact that I kept seeing stay present, because then you'll see them.
yeah, 100%. Because I feel now, as far as love, Spirit showing me there is another opportunity that's coming towards you. And I remember feeling this exact same energy a few months ago. That's like, oh, it's coming up again, but maybe he's not paying attention. So I know you had mentioned before that nobody had come in, but I want you to really wonder what you're, like Kathy said, what you're kind of being present towards. You might not even be noticing that there are people around your energy who are pulling at you. So it's really important to make sure, like Kathy said, be present, because there are people who are pulling at your attention. There is like a relationship that really feels like it's on the horizon. So be present, mate. Make sure you're really looking around. It might not come in the very form of like, hey, I really like you and I want to be around you or explore. It might not even be like that. It's probably not going to be like that. But there are people who are showing you signals and signs. And you got to make sure that you allow yourself to see them. Okay. As far as life is concerned, Spirit keeps showing me to, and this is another message for another Taurus. How ironic is that? Reconnect with the inner child. You need to get to a space where you feel this childlike sense of joy and wonder, because from this place is going to be great initiation. So yes, we're all adults here. You know, as far as I know, as far as I've seen, you know, we're all adults. But we still are that same inner child that we used to be many, many years ago. We've just, you know, changed some shapes and adopted some certain masks and ways of being, but really connecting with that right now feels very, very important. There needs to be that childlike sense of wonder and joy, because it's what kind of propels you forward with passion, with doing things in a way that honors your soul, that honors your spirit. So it's time to be present, mates. Make sure you follow that passion, but take notice of the things that are connecting to you.
Mm-hmm.
Got to take notice of that. All right, well.
Perfect.
All right, Sandra is up next. Hey, Sandra, our sleepy Sandra. Don't worry, I have to get up early as well, so I feel you there. So I'm going to just say right away, I'll tell you Sandra's question, who's Virgo. Please let me know about my marriage. Bill is her spouse, and he's a Pisces, and then also wants to know about my VA disability. I'm personally not going to touch the VA disability because that is a government entity and kind of borders on legal. So I'm not personally going to touch that, but I know the process, and I definitely wish you lots of luck if you explained your case. Hopefully you have a good counselor or worker working for you. So if Kathy wants to, that's fine. That's good for her.
Yeah. And what is it that she asked about Bill?
Please let me know about my marriage. Her partner, Bill, is Pisces.
Okay. Okay. Shanae, I just wanted to say you are in the lottery. So if how the lottery works is if we have time after, we do lottery questions. Okay. We will try, hopefully your name will come up. We do a random number generator. But
yes, we don't do 1 through 8.
Yeah.
Your number is associated with your name. So essentially if I call your number based on the time we have, then you have won.
Yeah.
But honestly, it doesn't look like anybody else is here right now except Louisa, maybe.
No, I think
maybe Lucy.
Adam said he was here. I think he said he was here, but I could be wrong. So, okay. So with Sandra, what I'm getting here, the VA, I believe that we had talked about that in the past. I still feel that going through. It's going to take a while. Okay. I think you know that already. It's, there's going to be a little bit of a wait for that. Marriage with Bill. Do you have a specific question in regards to that? It's interesting because I'll tell you the energy that I'm feeling with him right now. The energy that's really coming through is it feels very authoritarian. That I keep getting this authoritarian type of energy that's coming through from him. It almost, I don't know if you had a talk with him. I don't know if there's been something presented, but it's like, whoa, he's coming through but not violent or anything like that. I don't mean it in that way. When I say authoritarian, it's kind of like he's like a rooster trying to flock up his feathers a bit. I'm the man, I'm, that kind of energy. Did you guys have some sort of conversation lately that in regards to the relationship? Because I feel like he's got this energy here where it's almost as though he wants to start trying towards what it is that you have spoken about, but he doesn't want to let go of the manhood around him. And I feel like this is very, very important for him. He doesn't want to appear weak. The thing is, you guys have been married for so long, but he still wants to be the masculine. He still wants to be the man. It just feels like this energy here where he's still trying to be the authoritarian or the head of the household or whatever it is. But it feels like there's an understanding that's kind of coming in through here as well. From his part, it's almost as though his eyes are being opened a little bit towards some of the things that you may have talked about either presently or in the past. It feels as though he's starting to kind of see your side. He's still teetering on the edge of acceptance of everything, though, is what I keep getting. But I almost feel like, it's funny, I almost feel like he's being a little bit overpowered, maybe perhaps by you and other members of the household, like the kids. He never gets along with my family. That could be where that overpowering is coming from as well. But it just feels like he's starting to, I wouldn't say he's in full acceptance and by any means, but he's starting to understand. You want to know if it will ever change. I do feel it will start to change, because I do feel that he wants to, I do feel he wants to integrate some of the things that you have already talked to him about, some of the things that are driving you away from him. And I feel like this is going to be important to him. Okay. I feel like he wants to start showing this. Why he acts like this, I have no bloody idea, because everybody's been really good to him. I feel there's been a lot of acceptance. It almost feels like he's just being excuse my language, a big pouty baby. It does. Feels like he's being a big pouty baby. And I'm not exactly sure what that's about. It almost feels like he's in this place of, I should be fully respected. I should be fully this. I should be fully that. And they're not giving it to me, or something along that line. It's that type of energy. But nobody's done anything wrong to him. Nobody's, you're strong women. And that's the thing. He has to realize you are strong women. And you're going to, you're going to speak up. You're going to stand up for yourself. No, there's, I don't feel there's no violence or anything like, but he wants to be that authoritarian, or he wants to be that element of respect coming through. I do, Naomi's laughing, but yeah, Naomi's laughing, but I do feel this change happening. It feels like he's starting to kind of feel like the outsider that he's created for himself, and he wants to move past that a little bit. It does feel, feels like baby steps coming through. It might be little things. Naomi and Miguel, I almost feel like, when you guys do get together, I mean, obviously you're including him, and he feels like he should come first, right? Like, that's exactly the energy that I'm getting. You know what? Don't back down for him by any means, but I feel like maybe open the door a little bit more for him. You know what I mean? Like, don't allow his behavior to intimidate. Obviously, I don't think you do, because again, you're very strong women. But I do feel like, maybe opening the door a little bit, and, give him that opportunity to step through. But it feels like he's been in this energy for so long, it's hard for him to let it go. And so those baby steps, I feel, could come through, is what I keep getting.
Yeah, what's important to know here, Sandra, I feel, is that a lot of what's happening in your relationship is dependent on him, because of his path and his learning that he's going through. Specifically, what Spirit shows me is that he's learning how to be emotionally secure in himself during this lifetime and during this process, during where he is right now in his own life. And you definitely come and contradict that a little bit. There is this feeling of almost dependence in connection here with you that definitely it worries him a bit. He can become so blended with you that he can even lose part of himself. But when I look at his intentions, trust me, he really does. Like, he loves being with you, y'all. It's for him. Your relationship is everything. It's a lot for him, and he does not want anything to compromise that. He doesn't want anything to come in between that. So the energy that Kathy was picking up on with this sort of almost authority kind of thing, or maybe like a sense of control, it's because there is a fear of potentially losing you. And I feel that this behavior has been ingrained in him for so long. It's part of his own personal internal wound, is because, he was forced to lose his security when he was very, very young, like super, super young. And so he's learned to have to create that. And then if you think about it, I mean, this is really beautiful opposite zodiac attraction here, Virgo to Pisces. Virgo is all about control, where Pisces is all about surrendering. So it's like the two of you have this like interesting yin yang with each other, where your energies are opposite but complement one another. So you'll see opposite things come through each other in like this weird mirrored way. It's so interesting, and it can get totally confusing, but it's part of your cycle, and it's part of why you vibe, you ebb and flow together. The biggest thing that I keep feeling as far as what's coming up between the both of you is just you're getting lots of mental, creative concepts happening, meaning you're discussing problems, maybe thinking of a solution, maybe thinking about how it's going to be. That's a really magical realm for the both of you. It's not that when you talk, things have to be sorted out right then and there. When you talk, you create this little space. You create this like little energy where it's like your own little realm together. And each idea, imagine it like just imagine it's like a night sky, right? And each little idea and point of talk that you talk, point of contention even, generates a little star. And sometimes you're going to feel these little stars fall. These are going to be these bursts of insights that all of a sudden your energy, your relationship get together. Take note of those little bursts. You're going to feel it as if it's like a ping, an idea, a light bulb, some kind of thing between the both of you. Those are the ones that I feel, deserve the moment of action. And you both it's like you're both going to be saying it at the same time or thinking it at the same time, when it comes in. So honor that little space that you two have together, but then make sure you take note of those little insights here. Also, I do feel that as he becomes more and more emotionally secure with his own self, that is what I feel is kind of repelling the energy with the family here. So, I would just support him on that journey of, just being more and more secure in himself as well. I wouldn't push it. I wouldn't be like, you need to be more emotionally secure. I would not push that, because you're just going to make him clamp down right away. But in the moments where he's forced, to generate his own security, whether it's through his own friends, his relationship with his family, or with his work or whatever, then you can point out those moments and be like, yo, it's okay to be like in your energy, in your space. And, you don't have to let somebody in to compromise what you feel, or in the opposite, if you feel that it's true, be like, oh, well, maybe you need to be just a little bit more vulnerable and hear their side of things.
That's exactly it.
I know he's afraid of getting lost into other people's problems and things, but there needs to be a certain sense of openness with him too. So he's got to learn that discernment. And I think you have a great way of helping him see what is right and what is wrong for him. That's where a really good mutual value comes in. Ooh, that was a lot. Sorry.
That was beautiful. Yeah, I really love it. Did that help us, Sandra? I truly hope it did. I just keep feeling like he wants to try. I feel like he wants to try, but there's a lot of past energy that he's struggling to get through as well, which can be interfering, if that makes any sense.
It can be tough sometimes.
Yeah. It's yeah. Oh, I love that. She says, you're so right. Yay.
Oh,
yeah, that's awesome.
I'm glad I could help us, Sandra. I'm glad I could. Next time when you come to the show with Nami, maybe we can just really work on and address what's going on with that family dynamic.
That would be beautiful. Here. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Sandra. So we're definitely over time here. So
I think we could do like one.
It depends on how long the lottery question goes. Maybe one, maybe two.
I'm going to tell you guys something that we've been doing. We've been on the show now. It's been going on 3 hours. So my brain is starting to shut down. Like so general questions and guessing is sort of out of my realm right now. So I'm like, if you want something to know something, ask it straight out. No, that's going to be the best energy, because in any of the general, like, we're tired now. It does take a lot to continuously tap in for that amount of time. Okay.
All right, our lottery people, who is here? Hearts, Love, Cathryn, Lucy, Leilani, Shanae, Death, Louisa, Esha.
I don't think they're all here. I don't think
definitely
Cathryn's
not.
here.
I think
No.
Leilani is here. I think Shanae is here. I think Esha
Abby's
is here. Yep, Leilani. Hello, my Leilani. Lucy's here. Yay, Lucy. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and generate our number here. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got numbers 1 through 8.
Oh, and Adam's here. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Adam, awesome. Number 1 through 8. And we've got, drum roll please, number 6. That is Adam.
Woo, yay, Adam. Okay. We need
All
that.
right.
We need the crowd cheering every time we pick somebody. Every time.
I know, we really need a soundboard. Do you know
We
how many
do. We need a
noises I could make?
soundboard.
Oh, I would be making noises the whole show.
Yeah, man, that's probably not a good thing to do.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't give me control of that. All right, so Adam would like to know, he is August 9th, Leo. What will happen with my sister Rachel in Ontario and me?
Okay. Adam, can you give us a little bit? Can you, again? I'm at that point of the time of the night. If Brandon picks up anything right away, that's great. But can you, like, how do you mean? What do you mean? Like, are you working on the dynamic here between the two of you, or
I'm getting the impression he's going to go visit or something, or stay with her in some way, or something's going to happen where they've got to be around each other is what I'm feeling.
Okay. I do feel, what was his sister's birth sign?
He said he wasn't fully sure.
Okay. I'm getting an ego clashing. I'm getting a lot of, like, what did he say?
As far as, he said his sister's birthday could be October 7th.
Is that Libra?
He doesn't know. Yeah, that's Libra. But he doesn't fully remember.
Okay. I just feel like there's some, it's interesting. Oh, man, and she has to be taking care of others. Okay. And so you're wondering, I'm just confused because I'm tired. What exactly would you like to know? Like, in what way, what will things happen? Like, what exactly are you looking for? I'm so sorry, Adam. I don't mean to, it's just at the end of the night, I'm tired. So it needs to be clear. Like, the question needs to be clear. That will help me. Okay. You know, Adam, I'm going to be honest here. I feel like you, there's obviously love there, you know, for your sister and stuff. I do feel like taking care of her is going to be a challenge. It is going to be, I feel like it's going to be a bit of a challenge for you. I feel it's going to be hard in the extent of, there's an energy, you've been in an energy of being having the ability to be by yourself and do the things that it is that you want to do, I feel, for a long time. I do feel, however, that you have a lot of patience at moments. Like there's definitely some patience that you have inside of you. I do feel there's an overwhelming amount of love that you carry within you towards others. You have a depth perception of being able to look at people, and you might not be able to completely put it into words, but you're able to look at their energy and dig something out that is that gives you a sense of understanding about that person that maybe others would not be able to grasp. And I feel like this helps you on a personal level in some manner. Like it helps you to grow as a person within yourself. Will you have to take care of her eventually? I don't feel that this is going to be something for you to worry about for a while. But I do feel like there may be, you may have to look for some help in regards to that, because I do feel that this could be a challenge. I feel that if for whatever reason you have to take care of her, whether it's because your mother is unable to in some way, I feel like this is going to be a learning process for the both of you, because of the fact that your sister has had things handled in such a way for her. It feels like a routine or something that she's gotten used to throughout her years. And if your mother is unable to take care of her for some reason, there is going to be that challenge of that understanding and that, that disruption of some sort of sense of routine. And I feel like if you were to just step in, that could change things where it could be very difficult for the both of you. I hope that makes sense. I feel like if you felt, or if your mother, like if you have that opportunity to talk to your mom, or when you have that opportunity to talk to your family, let your mom know that if for some reason she feels like maybe it's time to start learning a bit of your sister's routine at some point here. I don't feel like this has to be immediate in any way. I feel like it may come up in the future, but it may be something that you kind of want to integrate yourself in some way now, even if you're not in the same city. Like when you go to visit, maybe have your mom allow you to take over some of the routine in taking care of her, just to help with that process of integration. Because I feel like just stepping in, if you had to do that, could really cause a disruption. So just because it's difficult, right? It's a difficult process on your sister's end and your end. But I don't feel that this happening anytime soon, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't feel like this is something that you're going to have to take care of right away. So.
Well, when I tap into this here, it feels like it's definitely, okay. I feel you're going to have to take care of your sister 2 times, is what I'm being shown. The first time that shows up, which I'm not fully certain on the timing. It could be within this next year, but I'm not, honestly not even sure. It just feels like you're going to be forced into it and you're not ready. It's going to feel like an emotional drain on them. It's going to feel like it's going to be very difficult for you. I see you initiating, and Spirit shows me immediately you kind of disappearing or dipping out. So subsequently, what this is going to do is it's going to generate a few different feelings in you that are kind of trigger key points on your own soul. Because then the second time around, which I do feel it's quite a ways after the first time, there's a whole different approach with things. And Spirit keeps showing me that it is actually going to be a sort of spiritual vindication with you and her as well. And you're going to see, Spirit shows me it's when you're much more secure in your own energy, you've got a better sense of roots, and you're going to find your own roots. as far as your own personal course up in a spiritual depth that you really hadn't considered before, by taking care of your sister the second time. So the first time it's going to definitely feel like a burden and a drain, but the second time there's going to be a really beautiful
Connection.
kind of symbiosis and a connection between you and her that really comes out. This is a soul bond that I do feel between the two of you. So there really is something significant and important that your souls are learning from each other. I feel it's actually you more than her. So do it as you will. If you have to, take care of your sister and it feels like a lot of intensity, let it just be as it is, but it won't be for too long. But that second time is going to be a really, really rewarding, deeply spiritually rewarding experience.
If you're going to visit this year, that could be where Brandon's picking it up, where, that first time coming through. I do feel like it's going to be important for you to sort of take that step in, as Brandon was saying, it's important to, and as I said before, it's I feel like it's important for you to start learning the process. I do feel like that's going to be important. And that might be where that challenge that Brandon is picking up, Mahogany Town. Yeah, we are wrapping up for the night. Sorry, hon. We will be here next week, though, for sure. And are we going to do one more? Or are we...
I'm tapped out, Kathy.
I know. I'm honestly, I'm like in this place of my brain is draining.
I wish we could be here all night, but we are 51 minutes over our original time. So I wish we could get to everybody, but we just do not have enough time, y'all.
I am going to just address Shanae really, really quick here. I do feel like this relationship, I'm going to just give you a little bit of a tip towards this. I do feel this relationship is something that Jihad needs to learn to incorporate in his life, and that allow him to start making those moves towards you. And you're going to see a change within this relationship. So I can't really tell you particularly what the current status is. I do feel, though, that he will step up, but you have to take a step back. So I hope that helps. I hope that gives you a little bit of clarity. Let him, it's time for him to step up into this relationship. Adam, you're so welcome. Brandon, where can people reach you?
Head on over to thedreamteacher.com. Send me an email, set up an appointment. Actually, the appointments might be done right now, so just send me an email, and we will get you scheduled as soon as possible.
And guys, if you want a reading with me, you can contact me through oracleintuitions.com. oracleintuitions.com or my email at oracleintuitions1111@gmail.com, or through my Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Have an amazing week. We'll probably see you Sunday, hopefully. And then next Wednesday. Take care, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Have an amazing evening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.